Team USA basketball is something we look forward to every single year, or more specifically, every 4 years when as a nation we compete in the Olympics. I mean, after all, we do have the most gold medals won as a country for both men and women's basketball, and this always is going to create a target on our back every single time the men and women lace up for the United States of America. We all remember iconic teams. We have the Dream Team, the Redeem Team, and now I guess I'd call this the Farewell Team. This is the last time LeBron James will be competing in Olympic basketball, per himself of course, and honestly we can't blame him as he is going to be 44 years old come 2028, and no one other than Tom Brady wants to compete at that high of a level at that high of an age. The men's team has been on fire this year. They've crushed their first 4 games, and as we speak they're going to be about the second quarter, I would assume. They're taking on Brazil in the quarterfinal section of this tournament, and at the making of this video they're up by 15, so if they lose, I'm sorry I didn't speak about it, and if they win, I'm also sorry I didn't speak about it. I couldn't be more interested to see how they end up through this tournament, whether they're hoisting a gold or they are prematurely eliminated. There's been a lot of interesting lineup decisions with this roster, new stars taking the floor every single night, and consistent pressure from the likes of LeBron James. Today we discuss Team USA and just do an overall check-in. If you're new here, please be sure to consider hitting the subscribe button, as we are less than 80 subscribers away from our goal of 3,000. Without further ado, let's discuss the lineup changes. Joel Embiid is starting in games where fans don't see fit, Jason Tatum is getting DNPs as well as JoJo, and Steph Curry is averaging 7 points, 3 assists on 20% from the three-point land in 20 minutes per game. And we will start just there. Steph has struggled in this Olympic run, and fans were very eager to see him play inside a shooting three-point line that is much shorter than the NBA. As the FIBA line, I believe it's a few feet or like 1.8 feet shorter, but he just has not found his rhythm. If we look at a game like they had, I think it was 4 or 5 days ago, they versed Serbia in that exhibition match. He gets quality looks, he just cannot knock them down, and this leads me to believe that Kerr just has been as patient with he has over the course of his tenure with Golden State, because Steph yields a lot of attention, whether he's 0 for 10 or 10 for 10 from 3, you have to respect him. His misses do not affect his next shot. He has a short-term memory, that's why he's the greatest shooter of all time. When we look at something like Jason Tatum and his DNP, it's hard to understand how someone who just won an NBA championship and received 40% of the finals MVP votes, averaging a double-double in the NBA finals, is not playing or getting DNPs, but Kerr is the coach. You may feel that he has certain animosity towards Tatum. I hope that Tatum can just get over it and try to compete for something bigger and not hold a grudge. By the sounds of Steve Kerr's post-game presser, it seems they're on the same page, as Kerr was found saying, "It's really hard in a 40-minute game to play more than 10 guys, and with Kevin Durant coming back, I went with combinations that I felt would make the most sense. It seems crazy. I thought I was crazy when I looked at everything and determined these lineups are the ones I want to get. Jason's first All-Team NBA 3 years in a row. He's one of the best players in the world. He's incredibly professional, and that's tonight. That doesn't mean he's going to stay that way the rest of the tournament, so he will make his mark. But the key, and our guys know this, is to put the NBA stuff in the rear view mirror and just win 6 games. And Jason's ability to be the ultimate pro and champion, and he handled it well, and he's going to be ready for the next one." A very delicate and media-trained answer from Coach Kerr, but I couldn't agree with him more that the NBA, it means nothing when we're talking about the Olympics. And moving on to another man who got a DNP, Joel Embiid, he has been very underwhelming to say the least, and it's heavily influenced by the fact that there's just no room for his style of play in FIBA basketball. He can get you know, your 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 free throws in a regulation NBA game, but in FIBA basketball, they flush him out of the block, and they stop the flopping and complaining, and it's just not very expected. With the big man depth that the Team USA is able to flex, it's brought fans and media members to question why he's even, you know, playing to begin with in certain games, or starting rather, not playing as a whole, because Bam Adebayo and Anthony Davis have performed at a very, very high level, efficient as well, and they are better on defense than Joel will ever be. Charles Barkley was actually quoted recently on a Podcast P episode dissing Embiid to his new teammate Paul George, basically saying that JoJo is out of shape, and it's embarrassing when you look at it. It's not abnormal for bigs to be out of shape at this time of the year in the summer of the off season. Some of them, it just hasn't clicked for them yet. Joel's already won his MVP. He's got Maxey and Paul George aside him next season. Maybe he feels like he doesn't, you know, need to come into the season that in shape. However, you would think for someone like Joel, who opted to play for Team USA instead of his country, his home country, you'd think he'd be coming a little bit more serious. Someone like LeBron James and Anthony Edwards came to this very seriously. It's very clear to me that Anthony Edwards is coming fast, to be the face of the NBA following LeBron James's departure. And as I've said this before, Ant has all the intangibles to do so both on and off the court. Great media guy, great kid, just great player on the court. And LeBron and Kevin have just done an excellent job of setting the example, the standard, if you will, for this team on the offensive side of the ball, dominating it. And then on the defensive side of the game, I'm very impressed with how they look in transition. To end this video, I thought it would be nice to discuss some of the unsung heroes on this team, and I got 3 at bat. The first one has to be Bam Adebayo, stretching the floor, dominating on defense, facilitating the pace of the offense when he's asked to, when he's running those DHOs. 3 of the things that he's been excellent with. It's very funny to watch Spo on the bench be shocked at his offensive capabilities from the sideline, because FIBA basketball is just so different than an Expedition NBA game. As a fan of the game, I personally have loved every second of it. The last 2 and 3 guys I gotta say, Drew Holiday and Derek White, they go hand in hand together. They are just the king of the unsung hero role, and for obvious reasons. It's the same thing that they do in the regular season, they're doing in the Olympics, where it arguably matters more depending on how you view your nation. They're diving on loose balls, diving out of bounds to save plays, pushing the pace in transition, and most importantly, they are not trying to be the MC. They're not trying to be the main character. Team USA basketball is all about knowing your role, knowing your limits in that role, and it's when people try to pedal too hard that the bike falls over, that things get uneasy, if you will. The egos have been brushed to the side with the squad, and I really do like the chances of them winning it all. Can this team be remembered with the likes of the Dream Team or the Redeem Team, or will it fizzle out before they even reach the gold? Only time will tell, but I hope that you drop your prediction below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and just this channel and this video. I appreciate all you so much. God bless you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay happy, healthy, and blessed. Peace.